So I just don't understand how they didn't have any foresight of expansion or even just the aspect of apparel and the history of building a legacy from the Houston Comets that they would just let that slip by. But how likely do you see it being that the Houston Comets will win the rights over this trademark?
Well, that is a good question, and let's step back because this is a good example that no matter how large or how small you are required to use your trademark. So, the first thing I want to say is they did the right thing. So, the Houston Comets secured a trademark, and then it's my understanding they abandoned it. So, what
Yes.
happens, Laquita, is every 5 years, you have to go back to the patent office and renew your trademark by showing that you're still using it. If you don't, there are others in line that now move to the front of the line, and an abandoned trademark is fair game for someone else to file. Now, what happens is the clock stops and starts. So, yes, the Houston Comets had that early date. Once they stopped and restarted, this other company already filed the application. And so now they're blocking the Houston Comets who are now in line behind them. And so, what the law says is it's not the first to file the trademark, it is the first to use. So, because they abandoned it in that time period and now somebody else has filed in front of them, if that other company can prove that they used it for those products and services before the Comets, as of their new date, then rightfully they can secure the trademark. Now, there's a fine line of what abandonment is, though, especially in sports. And it could be that the teams, maybe stopped, but they were still selling products. And I wouldn't say 90%, but a fair amount of trademark cases do settle. And it looks like right now the proceeding at the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board is suspended. So my gut is telling me that they're probably behind the scenes trying to work a deal out. So it may be something where I see in settlement negotiations where someone may agree to not use a certain font, maybe not use a certain color, or even be paid to possibly change the name. So I guess it remains to be seen what happened, but what's going to happen. But this is a good lesson for all of us, including your viewers, Chris, because no matter how large or small you are, you have to use the trademark, and that makes sense. The beauty of trademarks is they do last as long as you use them. So when we think of Coca-Cola, that name has been around since the 1800s. It's one of the oldest trademarks. So it's something that when you talk about legacy building, I want all of us to think about trademarks because it's critical. So that's what we're seeing with the Comets right now, that they abandoned it and now they're, fighting to try to get the name back.